Well, hello, friends. I'm just coming back online after a couple days after surgery. My surgery was September 11th, so it is now Saturday, so 12, 13, 14th, I think. Um, I'm feeling pretty good. I could have done a video after the surgery. I was worried about saying I was feeling too good too soon and then not really putting that in the right frame because the nerve block is essentially doing wonders the first 24 hours. I think my nerve block lasted a little longer than that. It felt more like, I don't know, the last, really more like 2 days, day and a half, 2 days. I could start feeling some stuff across the chest, like a tearing sensation, but it's mostly if I'm doing the wrong movement. So obviously I'm not doing that a lot because I'm not trying to get the tearing sensation. So I'm being really gentle, keeping my range of motion as limited as I can. And I think that came through it pretty well. The surgery went beautifully, said the surgeon. So we checked in with LeBlanc, and even though when she connected with Sarah to let her know during the surgery that things were going really well, they were having a lot of connection issues because I guess there's a lot of dead spots in Mission, so it was hard for them to hear each other. But LeBlanc called me after that evening, actually, just check in on us and see how we were doing. And I answered, and she was like, "Is this Janine?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, how you feeling?" And I was like, "Really good, actually." I was feeling really good. I, essentially had the nerve block and whatever other drugs they had me on. I know there's some narcotics and gabapentin, and I'm sure it was on all the things. And so, of course, I felt pretty darn good. I woke up out of anesthesia fairly quick. So when they were wheeling me out of surgery and toward the anesthesia, I guess I woke up, and that's not super common. So they were like chit-chatting with me there, and and I was feeling fine. And then, so I had to wait there for, I don't know, about an hour probably, and then go to the phase 2 where you recover. And then there I was still feeling pretty good. That's when Sarah could come in and visit me. So they let her in, and we got to, getting stuff figured out for the medication. So she had to go pick up medication and get the valet to drop off her truck. And so she was actually waiting out there for a while because I guess, timing didn't work out perfect. So medication didn't get called in perfect timing. So she was waiting there, and then the valet was waiting on her. No big deal. Everything was good. They all waited, and she got to wait on me. So then I was sitting in that phase 2 recovery room for another 45 to an hour while my nurse went on a lunch break, thinking the other nurse was going to swoop back in and get me out of there. But I guess they were waiting on something, so nobody did, which is fine. I was just hanging out. So she comes in and was like, "Oh, I even had lunch. I'm so sorry." And so she took me to the bathroom, and then, got me in a wheelchair and wheeled me out. And they gave me like a little pillowy thing that was hand sewn from some volunteers, which I thought was really nice. I'm using that a lot actually to prop up my elbow. They also gave me a little, like a really small seatbelt pillow, which is handy. My old friend Nicole Corcoran, shout out, sent me a really cute like dog, it's like dog pattern seatbelt strap pillow, which is super sweet. So that's in Sarah's truck. So that's the one we're using the most right now, and it's got good coverage and feels nice not to have something pressing on my chest. So it's nice to have all these little options. So I'll probably rotate out the smaller one eventually because it's easier to manage and just have something kind of small to put a little cushion on my chest instead of the seatbelt itself, especially if I was to get in an accident. That would probably not feel great. Other than that, they had me in some constraints the first 2 days. So kind of like this like really tight white vest kind of thing. I was supposed to leave that on the first 2 days, so we did. And mostly what I felt was discomfort where where the drains are. They're not ports, where the drains are. And I think it's really because of the tape. I think it's the adhesive tape that is holding everything kind of down right there. That seems to be bothering me the most. So other than that, and the pressure of having something kind of held close to your body for a long time kind of doesn't feel great. So when we were able to take that off and shower, you could shower 2 days after, I had a bit of shock actually. So when we released it, it was like such a pressure change on my rib cage. And of course then like you know, the little pads covering my scars just fall off, and we're in front of the mirror, and it's just like, boom, now here's your new chest. And, you know, I wouldn't say I was like displeased. I'm very pleased. I think the scars look awesome, but I think it's just this like real shock to the body that, you know, the body has changed so much. So that was more of a shock than I was expecting, and it caused me to get really nauseated. And I'm not sure if it was the vasovagus reflex, like this big pressure change in my body, or the fact that my body had changed so much and I was feeling this sort of like, you know, anomic rush of, you know, who knows. I won't get into all the neuroscience behind it, but I'm sure there are some things happening that were flipping switches that I've never had flipped. So I did not feel well at all, and I got really lightheaded, and we had to sit down, and I ended up puking. I totally ended up throwing up. Again, not because I'm displeased. I think it actually turned out great. I think the scars look awesome. I think it was just such a sudden change. I wasn't expecting that, plus that I had been like really bound around my chest quite hard for 2 days. So having that released was quite literally a pressure off, which did not feel great, actually. It felt better to have a little pressure. So kind of just laid for a little bit and got my color back because I looked real pale, which are some of the first shots Sarah has gotten me without a top on. So even more pale than I am right now, which is surprising, but it is possible. So then I recovered pretty quick, and we were able to get in the shower and just kind of gently wash off all of that, you know, sort of iodine that they stain your skin with and all that stuff. We got all that off. And again, the scars look incredible. You know, the glue, she like basically glues the outside wound, and there's a bunch of like sutures underneath. So there's a lot of things you can't see that you have to be really careful, especially with moving. She did say that she was able to be pretty conservative, she thinks, with the lymph nodes on the left. The funny thing is she's not even quite sure because she only had to take out one group of them. There was sort of a cluster of them. And from our conversation that wasn't perfectly translated, I believe it was the one that's kind of close up under my pec, sort of into the muscle a bit. I think, you know, that was where the original sentinel nodes were quite enlarged. So I think that was probably the cluster of lymph nodes she had to remove. And she just said they just didn't look right. She took everything that didn't look right, and everything else looked good. She said they were all otherwise free and mobile, and they looked healthy. So she left everything else. So she took, you know, one glob of scarred over, you know, lymphatic mass, and she did not count them to even worry about it. So I'm not quite sure the final count or her estimated count. I get to see her next week, so we'll cover that base then. But so far, I'm feeling okay. I don't have lymphedema. I do get some nerve pain in the evenings. I think really when the swelling just starts to kind of kick up a little bit more. So I have taken the gabapentin, maybe three since I've been home. So I try to reserve it for the evenings. I did take one earlier today, actually, because they make you feel kind of weird. So I'm not a big fan of taking any of that stuff, but I did take one earlier today because I woke up feeling pretty nervy. So we did that. But I haven't taken much narcotics. I've only taken one of the oxycodone that first night. You know, and it's not that I wouldn't take it if I felt like I needed it. They're 5 milligrams, so they're not the super strong high dose ones, which is nice. So I could always dose up if I needed, but I haven't really felt the need to take anything heavy, and it definitely constipated me the first few days. So I didn't stay constipated long because I didn't take anything else, like after it was really that first night. So day 2, I never took anything on, and we're only in like, I think day 4 now, starting day 4, day 3-ish, 4. So I'm not sure I'll take much more of that. I guess if I'm not sleeping, I'd take it because they kind of knock you out. But I am grateful to have bowel movements. I feel like that is way more worth it. And to feel some pain than to feel no pain at all and be all stuffed up. So I'm trying to keep things moving more than the other reverse side of that. Yeah, so feels like the right choice to me. I do have some drains. I only needed 2. She had said she might need to do 2 alone on the left and then 1 on the right, but she only had to do 1 on each side. So that's cool. I don't love them already. I'm annoyed with them, but they're not that bad. They like have like long little stringy things that are like silicone, and they go into these little grenade looking things that fill with blood and plasma and whatever other liquid that needs to drain out of the area. So I have not been building up a lot of liquid. So we're going to call Monday, because she also said if you're under 30 cc's for 2 days straight, you can get the drains out, which, you know, again, I have actually been under 30 cc's since we got home. We only drain them twice a day, so you just have a little recording and we just write it down. And it's been around like 20, and now today was more like 18. So they're well under 30 cc's. So we'll just see what she says. We might call Monday, otherwise my appointment's Thursday, and kind of see what she says about that. Today I just put on, like, I've got this little shirty thing that's got like the pockets for the grenade drain things, and then I just wrapped this like Thera, it's a Incrediwear. It's an Incrediwear Ace bandage, which Incrediwear is a pretty cool company. I have some of their braces in my office, but it helps pull circulation to the area and move out fluid. So I've essentially created a compression wrap with that around my torso. Under that are these like little silicone strips. I bought like a roll of silicone tape for scars, and we just measured it out and clipped it and put it along the scars. They kind of get all bunched up into the armpit area where she had to like kind of star knot it up, essentially kind of come together with all the pieces of tissue. So kind of lays on that, but they don't stick that great. And I had also put some bio oil on top of the, it's really the glue. So it's really to keep the wound itself kind of moist and hydrated. And then, so bio oil is one that was recommended for me. So I used like the thick kind of portion of that. And then I also put on the Resinol K, the stuff I had in a previous video that has like, I think it's from Health Concerns or Health Concepts. Can't remember which one they are now, but I think it's Concerns actually, Health Concerns, and Resinol K. And so I dripped some and kind of rubbed that into the scar area as well, and then put the silicone strips on top of that, and then I wrapped it just to keep some layer there so that things can stay hydrated, and hopefully we have less of a scar appearance. So we'll probably take that off tonight and redo it and just keep it kind of moving as much in that area as we can, and keeping monitoring, of course, the scars themselves. But they look really good and clean. So I do have some photos. We will probably put up, I put a couple pictures out there, nothing too revealing on GoFundMe. I feel like Caring Bridge is a lost hope at this point, so I'm really sorry anybody who's been following me in Caring Bridge. I hope you have now found me on YouTube. Caring Bridge seems to not be able to pull it together and keep their platform going. It's a big letdown because I really enjoyed that platform to be able to communicate with people better. So please feel free to comment here on the YouTube channel. It's still a personal thing. Of course, it's out there for a lot of other people that might not be. They might just be stumbling onto my videos and have no idea or care in the world who I am, and that's fine. I don't really care. But if it gets out there, some of this information for other people, then it matters to me. So I'm still checking my comments and responding to anybody who has something to say. So please keep them coming. Even words of encouragement, I like that stuff too. So otherwise, I feel like we're managing the pain really well. They got me acetaminophen and Tylenol, and I never take any of this stuff. So taking that stuff has been fine. I mean, I guess I respond pretty well to it. Sarah's got it all listed out for how many hours I can rotate stuff and when it's safe to take certain things, because she knows I'm really particular about that. I don't like taking too many pain meds too close to others. There's just a lot of reactions that can occur. So I feel pretty good. I feel like the inflammation's staying low. I am doing a ton of systemic enzymes with the bromelain enzymes, with the Health Concerns, their Resinol E, that's just a bunch of bromelain enzymes, and frankincense and myrrh and all sorts of good stuff. I'm still taking the Vitalzyme, so I'm doing all the stuff. I finally finished the cimetidine, which is the Tagamet stomach, antacid. So I finished that on Friday, which is great because timing that was annoying with all the other meals and things and supplements I'm taking. I wanted to make sure I did not take that with stuff that would affect the absorption. So always had to be a little tricky on the timing of that, but now that's behind me, which is great. And I've got, you know, everything else that I've kind of listed in the previous videos we've been rotating in. So today, Sarah helped me put together and get up and running the Aqua Cure. So that is my big thing I'm going to play with this afternoon. She just went to go pick up my mom at the airport. So my mom's going to be here for the next week to help carpool me around to appointments, since Sarah is going to be working at home, but working. So she won't have as much availability to be able to, you know, come to my every beck and call. So I think it's going pretty good. I think my biggest thing is that I now need help pulling my pants up, which is annoying. But other than that, I am trying my best to ask for all the help I can get and not overdo it, which I'm sure I'm overdoing it compared to what some people would like, but I'm not overdoing it compared to what I normally would do. So I think that that's a compromise. I'm trying really hard to not push it too hard. So taking it chill, just relaxing at home. This is the perfect fall weather, so I am really happy with how timing has worked out for all of this. And yeah, we're going to keep moving forward that way. I hope you guys are all great out there and doing great. And thanks for checking in with my little update after surgery. I will have more information and things to share with you guys soon. I just wanted to get it out there that I am doing fine and feeling pretty good. And I'm looking forward to hopefully continuing to feel pretty darn good. I've got a few more appointments coming up this week. We're going to try a high-dose vitamin C on Tuesday to strain my body a little bit and to kind of squeeze out any cancer cells that might be trying to do something in there. I'm going to try to stress them out a little bit. Other than that, I've been doing the hyperbaric chamber and all my millions of supplements. So I'm going to go in and try out that Aqua Cure now and try to do some of that Brown's gas breathing. So wish me luck, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.